My friend Richard, who is building the Project Sunseeker, which you may have seen last year, called me up to say he's made a bit of progress. I should come and take a look. So I'm up at his place, and we're going to go and see how he's getting on with it. Now, this is RC Motorhomes, which is why you can see a few dotted around here. This is his day job, building these fantastic motorhomes. Let's just lock that. There we go. And but the boat obviously is the project that he's undergoing at the moment. So we're going to go and take a look. If you want to check out these motorhomes, incidentally, check out my Motorholic channel. I'll put a link in the description. We've got some tours of these and they're pretty impressive. But the boat, the first thing to know about the boat is that it's moved indoors. So if we go around here, we can see, there it is, hiding in here. And over here, it's a bit of dashboard. So clearly things are afoot. Let's go on down through. And here she is, indoors. Richard, are you about?
Yes.
Excellent. Shall I come on?
Of course, Nick. Welcome aboard.
Excellent. I see it's moved, or either it's moved or you built a
Yeah, we had to
a thing
inside just to keep the good old British weather off us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, yeah, the more it came apart, the more vulnerable it was outside. So, and moving forward now, the next phase is paintwork and stuff like that. So we really have to be cautious of weather. So we have to be inside.
And have you built this for this?
Yeah. So we just put basically a workshop over the boat just to be able to keep it undercover.
That's very impressive. Good stuff. Yeah, all it needs is doors at each end. That'd be quite warm. Yeah, fantastic. Cool. So what's changed? What's new?
Well, we have basically, I mean, it doesn't look drastically different to last time you saw it.
Right.
But we're still very much in the strip out phase. So we've taken a lot of stuff out, a lot of stuff's off the boat. The handrails have just come off now. They're ready to be powder coated. We've mainly been working on the mouldings for the hardtop.
Okay.
So the T-top is all done. That's been made in carbon fibre. So we've done the whole process from the mock-up, which is just made out of MDF.
Yep.
Just to visually get the look of it. And then on from that, we did the 3D model of it, and then cut it on the CNC machine, made the plug, made the mould, and now we've got the product. So
wow.
There's been a lot of work in the background to make that T-top. So that's looking fantastic. That's all in carbon fibre and been made, and that's why these arch stanchions are still on.
Right.
So that we can put that on to mock it up to see what it's see what it looks like basically.
Perfect.
And other things we've done are, like, you might notice the helm is now missing.
Well, I walked past it on the way in.
So that's next in for some major surgery, because the helm historically was the round gauges, the needle gauges,
yep.
And small instrumentation. And because we're going for the glass cockpit with the 16-inch screens, it just doesn't fit at all in that old concept.
Right.
So we're making a new mould which will sit over the top of the existing mould,
okay.
which will house the glass cockpit.
Right.
So that's the next task for major surgery after that.
Wow, fantastic. I noticed that the outdrives are missing.
Yeah, so all engines, drives and everything are all out and gone.
Right.
Which I'll show you underneath here shortly.
Yep.
All wiring is out, all plumbing is out, the fuel tank's out, everything is gone. We're trying to get it back to the shell.
Yes.
So that we can inspect everything, make sure everything underneath it is okay. We found a few little things like in the anchor hatch, there's a bit of delamination which we can saw. The fuel tank, I wanted to inspect that, take that out, because we're having these new engines in it. The last thing we want is a dodgy fuel tank or some contamination. So that's been out, flushed out, and is all sound. So that's waiting to go back in, which is nice. And then we've done little bits in the cabin, which is the new sort of layout. So we've put sort of some bulkheads in, moved some seating stuff around. And then on the exterior as well, we've also done all the sandblasting of all the gel, the anti-foul, which you might have noticed.
Right.
So that was all sandblasted right back to the hull, so we can check and inspect the hull. So we are taking it right back. So moving forward now, we're now going to start rebuilding. Fantastic.
That's exactly what you said you were going to do. So it's impressive to see just how far you've taken it. So let's have a stroll through then.
Okay, so watch the obvious holes and stuff.
Yep.
So this, as you can imagine, is where the big fuel tank sits.
Okay.
So that came out nice and easy. There's a false floor, which a hidden hatch, sorry, which sits underneath the decking, which we pulled up. The decking actually came up in nice patches, so we've been able to have those scanned. So when we put the new decking in, we don't have to scribe it all in because we've got copies of it all.
Excellent.
Sort of lazarette area has all been stripped out, no pumps or anything. There's a little bit of pipe work left in there, so you can just pull that through.
Try to knock everything over. There we go.
So that's good, and that's the helm area that you can see is missing now.
Wow, yeah, that really is back to basics, isn't it?
On the screens, obviously they've all gone, so they're the powder coaters at the minute, having all the stainless steel done.
Right.
They're being done as we speak, so I would say a couple of weeks they'll be back, but we won't be putting those on until we've painted all the boats. So we're just sort of slowly getting bits off, getting out, shipped out to people. Stuff with like long lead times and that we've been working on. And stuff that requires a lot of enthusiasm, because if you do it at the end, you've lost enthusiasm. So things like the arch, the T-top and the helm are really good jobs to tackle first, whilst you've got good enthusiasm and lots of energy to get stuck into them, so they don't suffer at the end of the project.
Brilliant. And the stainless steel windscreen, is that going to be stainless steel again, or is that going to have a different finish?
That's all been powder coated.
So what colour is it going to be?
It's all black. So it's like a satin sheen black. So everything that was stainless steel on the boat, right from the anchor winch right the way down to the handrails, will all be in black.
Right.
The stuff on the T-top is all going to be in black.
Yep.
The screens, the bottom section, the top is all in black as well.
It's going to look quite sinister.
Yeah, well hopefully, yes, definitely. And with the red and the black, I'm sort of gambling it's a good colour combo.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And inside?
Yeah, we'll have a quick look inside. So there's bits that we've done. We've remodeled that area, so I don't know if you can remember, that was a slightly shallower wardrobe that was set on a bit of an angle. So we've pulled that out, re-glassed those bulkheads in, we've put a TV unit there.
Oh yes.
One of the key things is I wanted to reshape the bed because it was never big enough on the Hawk 34. So we pulled this bulkhead back a bit, so we've got a nice berth that you could actually sleep, comfortably in.
Yep.
We've remodeled this seating area to kind of a bit of a chaise lounge type thing with which will be also an occasional single berth. Right.
Excellent. Yeah, because this was more of a sort of a big U here, wasn't it?
Right. That's it.
And that's now more like an L shape, I guess.
Yeah, and then the galley will go into that area there. And then the TV, it gives you a better TV position, and then also if you wanted to watch the TV in bed, you can swing that across.
Nice.
To watch it in bed.
That's a nice touch. Yeah.
And then things like the seating unit, that's all been remade, that's all got lights in it, and we've glassed all the bottom in and reflow coated. All the areas where we've put new cabinets in have all been reflow coated and all nice and smart underneath, so if you lift a hatch up it looks nice and smart.
And just so people know, when you say flow coating, what does that actually mean?
So the flow coating is the thick grey paint finish which is on top of the fiberglass.
Okay, I'm with you. Yep.
So all it does is gives you a nice look in the locker of fresh, paint, which is part of the refurb really, rather than looking at something a little bit tatty.
Yeah.
All the bed we've redone with the sole of the bed, all been recovered with all the removable hatches to get to things like the bow thruster. Lockers which have gone in, we've got some really nice light detail inside the locker door, which later on we'll fire that up for you towards the end, which looks quite cool. So you can't see it now, but when you turn it on, it's inside the door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it'll be quite cool.
Yeah.
And electrical systems going in, the new system which is in that locker behind you.
Yeah.
Which that'll do all of our automation, so we can monitor the boat remotely, and we've got all the touchscreen stuff. So if I'm sat at home, I can put the fridge on, I can put the heating on, all from my laptop at home.
Excellent. So you can come down to the boat and it's lit up, the fridge is cold.
Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic.
And I can check the cameras as well, because there's going to be a couple of cameras on here, so I can log on to those and see if somebody's trying to nick it.
Awesome. And will they have like motion sensors so they can alert you if there is somebody who gets on it?
I was thinking maybe a loud hailer so I could talk to people.
Get off my boat!
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's what you can see going on in that locker.
Right.
Which is, that's it. And in there we've sort of stripped the heads out.
Yep.
But at the minute that's being used as our storeroom. And that's in that locker there.
Awesome. That's really good.
We've had the glass made for the foredeck as well. So you might have seen behind you where the telly is we've taken the porthole away and filled it in.
Okay.
The main reason for that was they were quite small, and because the boat's quite low to the water, I felt it's better to bring the light in from above your head. So
Okay.
on the foredeck, we've got some glass panels that have been made, which will sit on the foredeck, and then just above your head there'll be 2 square hatches of light, which will do a nice trim detail around. So the light will come naturally from the top rather than through the portholes.
Right, that makes
And
sense.
often, if you're at a marina, there's a boat moored right next to you anyway, so you just look at the hull of that boat. So it's nice to have that light coming down.
Yeah, and that is something we're seeing more of on modern boats.
Yeah,
Galleon
that's it.
in particular,
Yeah.
they do a lot of that, big strips of like skylight right down the whole of the forward cabin and
because you're
things like
bringing
that.
the light straight into the boat, so
Yeah.
it's a real nice feature. Yeah, so I've tried to do that as well, and that will make the foredeck look quite nice as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously headlining and everything else is long gone.
Yeah. There's the new the grounds are in the front bed there, which are all in there ready for headliners. That's all been new, and we put some insulation in there to stop any condensation.
Right.
And that will continue through here as well.
Yep.
And that's that little section there is next to make up the galley and the new equipment in for there, and then some cabinet work across there.
Fantastic. That's very, very impressive. Are we able to see the hardtop?
The hardtop is currently still under construction, so I can send you some images of it. They've made the top section in carbon fibre, and they're just currently making the inner tray mould for the underside. They're just making the new mould at the minute, so another couple of weeks on that. But we've got some stills I can show you, so we can send you those.
Okay, yeah, that'd be brilliant. I'll put them in the video then and people can see them.
Yeah, okay.
Fantastic.
Engine room, I suppose we ought to have a look at.
Yeah, definitely.
See what's in there.
Okay. Okay, so them holes normally would have things through them.
Yeah, so that would be where you can see the engine feet there, the beds, that would be where the engines would have sat.
Yep.
And the transom shields, and then the drives on the outside.
Yeah, of course.
I mean-
And so this is having a pair of D4s in it?
D4 300s, that's it.
Wow, that's going to be great.
And we're just waiting for those really to turn up. Is why we haven't really done a lot in here, because we need to offer them up to see how close they are. We've measured all the transom and done some drawings of the transom for a new transom shield, but we really need to wait for the engines to be able to move to that next process.
Yeah.
But we've stripped everything out, so there's no electrical equipment, plumbing, anything left in there.
Wow.
That's all ready for a fresh start. We put some sound deadening on the front bulkhead, but other than that, we're just waiting for some engines.
It's really good to see it like this, because sometimes when you get people and they say, oh yeah, I've done a restoration on this boat, and you go and look at it, and it's like they've done a nice job, but they put new carpets in and
Yeah.
you know, new cushions and maybe a new canopy and perhaps some new stripes on the outside, and then you think, yeah, okay, it looks nice, but it's not really.
It's not an in-depth refit.
No, exactly. Whereas this is proper right
I mean,
down.
I kind of wished I could have just started with a Holland deck. It would have saved me a lot of time.
True, actually, yeah, you're right. But of course, there's no way you'd ever get this shape.
No, that's it. I mean, you had to start like this. But for me, I wanted to be all the know the boat all the way through, and know that every corner I'd been to, we'd covered with new equipment, with the new engines, the new cabin, the new electrical stuff, all the mods on it. It's going to be an as new boat that you're going to get with a refit, if you know what I mean.
Totally, yeah, absolutely. And interestingly as well, I think when they built these boats, and they built these back in the late 90s, I think, you know, they were building them really, really strong then, because I think they weren't quite as adept at working out the precise amount of strength that they needed. Whereas I think now there's a lot more design goes into them, and they get them strong enough, but just strong enough. Whereas back then they just used to just keep building them and building them and building them.
I totally agree with that, because the parts that we've taken off, like for instance the top of the arch, some areas that we've drilled some inspection hatches into, the fiberglass is like 20-30 mil thick.
Yeah.
You know, and nowadays with the resin infusion, you wouldn't get that. You'd get a uniform thickness, and the thing would be as strong but half the weight.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's good to see a nice, and that's why this has stood the test of time, because of that reason.
Yeah, and it's not to suggest that the new boats aren't as well built, because they are. It's just that back then, they just went for all-out strength, and you just got a really, really solid boat.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
put this down.
cool. So the other thing that you mentioned is somebody got in touch with you via Aquaholic to say that they were involved in these boats initially.
Yeah, really, really interesting guy, and a great conversation, and all basically through your channel and your followers. It reached Australia,
right?
And a very nice chap called Steve Ford, who was the original designer of this boat at Sunseeker in 1996, contacted us and said he loves the boat, loves what we're doing, we'd be really interested to help us in any way with any information we needed. And we had some really good conversations with him about what we were doing with the boat. He showed us some renders of the boat that they were thinking other concepts of this boat when they were designing it, which was really interesting. And he's gone on now 25 years later, designed some really nice boats and is a boat designer. And what was really interesting, I felt, is I kind of put it to him and said, if you got the job to redesign the Hawk 34 for Sunseeker, what would you do? And he came back and he said he would be very true to the boat and keep the long pointy sports boat and not go beamy and pab all about accommodation. And he said he would do a T-top, which is what we're doing. He'd put the new tech on it, obviously the latest engines, some of the glass, you know, it was really nice to hear that all the stuff we're doing is the sort of thing that he would do if he was to redesign the boat to a 2022 spec.
That's fantastic.
So that was really interesting, and through the power of Aquaholic.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah, really good. I was really pleased with that.
Awesome, awesome. So there we go. That's pretty much the story so far. As you can see, it's just been a complete and utter stripped down job, and it's going to be fascinating now to follow the process as the boat gets built back up into something really special. So we're going to keep visiting Richard if he'll allow us to, and we'll keep these videos coming, and we should end up, hopefully, well, when do you think? When are we going to get out of the water with this?
Oh, I'm hoping end of the season it'll be finished, but whether we actually launch her because of the season being at the end of the season, we might wait till the following summer, following Easter, sorry. But yeah, I would hope we would have some good progress by the end of the year.
Fantastic. So stay tuned, hit subscribe if you've not already, and it'll let you know each time a new video comes up, and let us know what you think of the story so far. We'll catch you on another one very soon. Thanks for your time, Richard.
Thanks, Nick.
Cheers.
Cheers.